So we've got a visitor, Nemo. So a house cat, just come down to say hello, because obviously they love this floor to roll in all the dust. Look at that stupid tail. He's a lovely pretty cat, aren't you, Nemo? So Thomas is just doing great things. I had to actually just clear my phone down of storage because I ran out of space. We're getting to, this is the main extraction machine that we will unwrap shortly. But it's pretty cool. There's all the pipes in here that I ordered as well as extra. That's the main extraction motor. That's where the honey runs out into that big sump there and gets collected up and pumped around. So it's all pretty awesome. Very impressive. Not to mention Thomas's unscrewing skills. It's getting good. Well, if you've got kids, you've got to use them, eh? Lol. I can't help but feel this is how Howard Carter felt when he undid the seal on the tomb of King Tut back in 1850, whenever it was. So let's have a look at this, the innermost sanctum of the extraction line. See if it opens up. I'm intrigued. Stand up. See if this comes up. I don't know how it unlocks. Is that locked? I think it's just held down, but oh, there's a lock on it. Okay, there we go. I've undone that. This side. Way! Arise! Look at that. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I'm glad I opened it because there is a little bit of humidity inside. That's obviously hot and cold. But this is the baby that rotates with the frames. That is some piece of kit. Beautiful. It's even all branded, marked, and absolutely sweet. I got the apprentice unpacking the rest of it. But it's just to get it apart, and there's all the framework that holds these two main parts together. But this is the main decapping part, and that's where all the electrics are. All looks nice and dry. There you go, it's a copy of the receipt. Lovely fuse box. Look at that. Wow. That is impressive. Getting a bit dark now, so I'll come down in the morning and give you some better pictures in the morning. But from what I've seen so far, all I'm saying is it absolutely reeks quality. Very impressed. So I found all the instruction manuals, everything is here. Very impressive. The uncapper, the honey pump, the uncapping part of the machine. So the SB1 uncapper is the one I've got, but obviously there's the heating system that goes with it. So anyway, all the parts are here. I just wish that they'd told me where they were, because they got a little bit damp because they were stored under cover. But anyway, all is fine, all is good. There is also a certificate of conformity for each machine, each part, which is pretty impressive. All stamped, signed. This got a bit damp as well, so I'm actually going to iron that, believe it or not, flat, and then I'm going to laminate all of this and make a proper book up with everything in. So it's all together. But anyway, overall, I'm much happier now. It was something I was a little bit disappointed with in the start, that it didn't tell me where it was, but you know, it is what it is. So I've got plenty of reading to do, plenty of further unboxing to do. Everything is there. Better get on. Something you don't see and don't think about is the rain. We've just had a frost and it was all condensed on and frozen on the roof, and then the sun comes up, melts it all, and suddenly all that surface area is giving you water dripping off. But the gutters will sort that out when they're fitted, but they're not fitted yet. Just, you forget how much water you get per square centimetre or square foot, whatever you want to call it, when you have a frost. It's incredible. So yeah, looking forward to get those gutters up. That's another thing we've got to sort out. They're all in there, waiting to go on. But that'll be fine. They'll all be on this week, I'm told. That's all the gutter sections. So it's a beautiful morning. I thought I'd come straight down with the nice morning light coming through the gable end, which won't be here after tomorrow, lol. I'll come straight down and give you a quick look at the machine that we unboxed most of it last night. There's still all the racking there that connects these two main parts together, but I just wanted to quickly run through it with you. So this is the head of the machine, and it will face the other way. So this is the entrance. That side here is where you load the frames in, okay? So you've got your hot water system there, which is the heated tube, which will heat your hot water, and there's the pumps that circulate it and the immersion heater. So it's a twin pump. That's the water, which I had to make sure was open when I got it here. But basically that's where your frames are loaded, and inside you can see your hot knives that will move back. That's the hot knives right there. They will uncap all the honey. And here, that's where the honey will fall down into the, through there into the honey press. I've got the Rocket honey press, and that's the honey rocket there. The R250 is the one I got. So that basically is the chute. The honey goes down there into the rocket press, okay? And the honey will fall down into that, as well as be pressed upwards with wax. So as it is pressed upwards, a lot of it will constantly fall out into this tray. Get the tray out. And the tray then goes to a pipe there, which then pumps that to the sump. Okay, so the sump will receive honey from various places, from the extractor machine, from there, and also from a couple of other places within the system. What I liked about this was this. Look, I found this last night. That just sits there beautiful. It's another little thing they've added just to catch those drips and those extra bit of wax, because then the wax will come out of here in a circle, in a coil, and then I can put that in a tray or a bag or something else, whatever I decide to. And don't forget, this is just a first look. So it's given me an idea as I'm going around it. So that's the honey pump. It's just screwed down there for the moment for transport, okay? But it's basically a motor there with a converter, because I'm having everything in single phase. Okay, so it has a converter, it has the honey pump there, the actual motor, and then from there you've got the gearbox, and then from there you've got the pump. You can actually see the impeller in there. If I just tap the phone, you might be able to see it. You probably see it better on this side with the light shining through. It's a very nice quality piece of kit. Let me show you there. If you can see that in there. Anyway, overall, that is extremely nice looking as well. So that's what I like about this as well. There's one main feed in. Okay, so we've got a beautiful brand new type fuse box. I know other people have criticised the older models because they didn't have a fuse box that was kind of sealed, and you can see underneath. Nice bit of cable wiring there, nicely done. Couple of extra glands here for the 2 extra cables that go in. But this one, that's the main feed in. So we're going to remove this anyway, because we're going to have a single feed in directly from my main installation fuse box, which will be over there. And it comes down, around, and comes up to here. This is where my extraction line will be. So the next couple of days, maybe even tomorrow, what I've got to do is I've got to undo my extraction line from its place, put it in place roughly, because what we've got to do is I've got to mark out where the feet are going to go and work out the floor plan for my honey house, because it's not just that, it's also for the mezzanine as well. The problem is the mezzanine may have to eat in terms of footprints into the corners here or this whole back bit. So I'm actually thinking of writing off this whole back area all the way along to give extra foot for the mezzanine, because it's going to have like a plate of about 25 by 25 centimeters approximately, and it may impinge in various areas. So I've got to be careful and show them what I'm trying to achieve by doing that here. So we've got to get this machine onto there with no lifting gear, which is going to be fun, but I'm hoping we can get because I've got a lot of guys coming here, I'm hoping we can get something sorted out and we're just going to be able to lift it off and put it into place just for now. But that's the challenge for this week. But overall, I'm extremely excited with this. This is what 27,000 euros gets you. It's pretty nice. Even the quality of the gearbox there for the honey press looks pretty good. You can see I've got a tiny bit of humidity rust there on those little nuts and bolts, which I'm seeing, and there's like a little bit here. That's what happens when things go into storage. But that can all be just rubbed over with a tiny bit of oiled rag just to seal it up. And don't forget, as from now on, it's going to be in the dry and in the warm. So, pretty impressive. I like the way also that every single part is branded. They've thought about their quality control well. I mean, everything's got massive bearings in this machine. Look at the size of the bearing in that, at the back there. And you can grease the bearings as well, look, with a nice grease nipple. I like that. Same this side. The 2 main bearings, pretty good. The whole thing, as I said, just seems really solid. Very impressed with it. And it was packed up beautifully. All this wood here, believe it or not, actually, my son Thomas, as you saw yesterday, was taking all the nails out and all the screws, I mean. There's actually a lot of ply there that I can use for various other little projects. These, believe it or not, in a honey house as well, these things are actually, like, you know, worth their weight in gold for putting on top of barrels or for standing empty barrels up, all sorts of things like that. You can never have too many scraps of wood in a honey house. So we've got some work to do. Anyway, that's the first look. Now this week will be the job to get it all put together in some sort of semblance, just because I want to have an idea of its footprint so I can work out the exact spacing in the honey house, where the doors will go. And it is, as much as it's quite a bit of work, it will be a really good idea, because then I'll know where I am with everything. Because obviously this is the point where it's kind of the final decision. Everything has to go in this area, everything has to be worked out and spaced and all that kind of stuff. So we will be busy bees, and there's loads to do, but we'll work something out. The pressure is on to get this put absolutely right. Just look at these babies, eh? Wow. Pipes, connecting pipes. This is the honey delivery pipe that goes on top of the pump. I actually wanted this one myself because I like the idea of filling barrels directly from the pump, because I don't tend to pump honey elsewhere. So this goes on top here, and that means you can fill your barrel directly from the pump. Pretty good. That piece alone, I tell you, was like 400 euros. Good quality stainless steel is not cheap. And I like what I see. I love these joints as well that are pretty quick release. If you have an issue, that all the joints are like that can all be taken apart. All high quality finish stainless steel. Pretty good. And you can tell these parts are all sourced over different parts of Europe. This one is from Finland. That's the motors from Finland. The converters are actually from the UK. ivertechdrives.com. They're actually a company in the UK. So if I have a problem with one of my inverters, I can get it fixed. This is nice. This is actually the Honey float switch that goes into the sump as well. Oh, I haven't shown you the sump yet. Let's show you the sump. There's the sump. Look at that beast. So I was on about the big fixings that go into it. There you go. That's your DIN fitting, 2-inch. That's where the honey is pumped out of there. But that is the sump. Just I can lay it down here, I think, just so you can have a look without scratching it. That's the sump that's supplied with it. So you've got honey coming in there from the extractor, I think, honey coming in there from the uncapping line, aka the honey rocket. And then there's obviously honey coming in from somewhere there. That's where your float switch goes. So, and I like the fact it's got a little sump here, a little internal sump that is lower than everywhere else. Because when I was cleaning out previous machines, I used to find that was the part that was not missing, but something that that one's just blanked off, so that may be for additional things. But maybe that's just a blank, I don't know yet. So these are all things I've got to work out. This is just the first look. Okay, so there's loads of things to move, to reposition. It's going to take a while. It's like every other platform, you know, you got to learn it all again. So I'm going to have to learn this machine from top to bottom. I've also learned that this opening on that's the electronic closing for the honey extractor. And this is the lever that opens it this side. See, but I can't open it the other side now because I've closed it shut and I need to basically plug it back in to open it. But that's just to show you how secure it is and the safety is good on it. Well, that's what I think I need to do. But I'm not going to for now. I'm just going to put it in place, get an idea of where the feet are going to go, because I believe that, see, a lot of it's got to be bolted down. And I can't bolt it down to... obviously through polystyrene or through the top liquid coat we're going to put on. It's a fairly hard coat, but it's not as good as concrete. So I'll build a little square around each footing, and that will be then concreted solid with proper good quality concrete. And then when I put the underfloor heating, we'll put the underfloor heating around all of that. So it's initially a bit more work, but actually it's not, because when you work it out how well it'll be good when it's installed, it'll be absolutely fantastic. And I don't know whether I'm going to have my room built on top of this, and I may even be putting a tent over this area in the summer when I'm using it, just so that I can extract in a little bit more warmth. But there again, the whole room will be sealed. It wouldn't matter if I heated the whole place up. It just seems a bit of a waste to heat the whole place. But there again, we'll see what happens. If I'm ready, if I can use it in the spring and it's not cold and I can heat the room easily, then what the hell. So, first look, Paradise Honey extraction line, 54 framed, pretty impressive.